First to legalize, first to deal with the payoffs and the problems of marijuana on a mass scale. In the history of awkward phone calls, this one would rate right up there. Governor John Hickenlooper, head of a state where marijuana is newly legal, talking to U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder, chief law enforcement officer of a country where marijuana is still quite illegal. The governor's spokesman has not yet said how that call went this afternoon. In the meantime, a lot of people plan to profit from legalized pot. 9 News reporter Brandon Ritterman reports from the second and final day of the National Marijuana Business Conference in Denver.
Yesterday, on day one of this conference, our attention was immediately drawn to booths like this one, promoting products made out of marijuana. But to my sides, you can find all kinds of other businesses. They don't actually touch marijuana, but they stand to make a lot of money off of it.
And the customer could see the product inside, and these are very popular. It has a nice viewing window.
R.E.A. Zussman knows his containers. His great-grandfather started the Central Bag Company in Denver.
We've been around since 1914. So we've done packaging for a while.
This part of the family business grows every month. Amendment 64 could give them a huge boost.
So I think everybody's kind of like, what's going to be, what's going to happen, and so we're just going to have to wait and see.
We sell insurance. Insurance can be very boring, so there's no way around that, but it's a necessary evil of the world.
If you grow pot, Patrick McManaman and his company CanAssure is one of the few places to get insurance for your business.
But we're there for if they have a fire, their shop is gone, they have a lot of thefts, something like along those lines.
But he can't insure you against federal agents knocking down your door, and he says don't trust a policy that says it can.
There is some stuff out there, but in my opinion, it's not worth the paper it's written on. So no, we don't market and we don't advertise that because there's nothing out there right now.
That's what this gives you. We have a database of over 2,000 strains.
Over here, a new app called eCannabis helps people swap information about different kinds of pot. So you're like WebMD and Yelp for marijuana.
I like you. There you go. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's a look at some of the tangible things that businesses need right now in order to sell marijuana. But around the corner over here, we've got people who are looking out for the future of the industry. Things like mapping the DNA sequence of types of marijuana. We'll tell you all about that coming up at 5.
So much to think about.
So much. It's different than an ice cream shop, I suppose.
Yeah, right. Because there's only so many brands of sprinkles you can really
That's it.
market. The sprinkles. I was thinking sprinkles.
Yeah. Sprinkles is what makes it different. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's sprinkle in a little snow.
Do it.
Oh, how about that for
well
a segue?
Done. High Country is getting a taste of that snow that's coming our way. Marty, what do you see on the menu for us?
Not much.
Okay. If you're hoping for answers on how legalized pot in Colorado will square with the feds' criminalization of marijuana, we certainly did not learn anything from Governor John Hickenlooper's phone call today with U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder. A late account of the call from the governor's office stressed mainly boilerplate stuff about wanting the federal government to spell out its position on Amendment 64, and the governor's spokesman saying, quote, everyone shared a sense of urgency and agreed to continue talking about the issue, end quote. As that plays out, entrepreneurs are looking at how they can cash in on legal pot. 9 News reporter Brandon Ritterman reports from the National Marijuana Business Conference right here in Denver.
Last hour, we showed you some of the businesses that serve the marijuana industry currently in Colorado and talked about the money to be made there. And I promised you we'd take you around this corner and talk to some folks who are looking out for the future of the industry, and they are looking a few steps ahead.
That is big business.
Flew all the way from Sweden, 15 hours on the plane.
He came all this way to sell a sophisticated lighting system that might be a little too expensive for most growers now.
So we can actually manipulate the way the plants are growing. So if I want, I can increase the red.
The different color cycles can make plants grow taller or shorter, faster or slower to get a better crop than the competition.
And all these things you can do with light.
So everything we know about the business model today is going to go away the second farmers plant.
Bill Althouse moved to Denver this week because of the election. He's looking beyond dispensaries to farming, seeing pot as a cash crop. He wants to keep for-profit businesses from patenting different strains of marijuana, and he's got a far-out plan to start a co-op to get those patents instead. If he has his way,
we'll have every strain in the world in a cryogenic frozen seed bank.
Anything we ingest is currently labeled. Why would this be any different?
These guys from the Netherlands can test your pot to see how potent it is, measured in percentages just like alcohol.
The whole reason I got into this is because I was making brownies. Every time it would be an experience. I had to go take a chunk, see if it was too strong, too light.
In some ways, it's plain to see the industry is already ahead of the lawmakers, already working on ways to regulate itself and hoping that the law catches up. Brandon Rittiman, 9 News.
Brave new world. The state legislature begins work in January and is expected to start structuring new marijuana regulations.